Sorry not sorry, I've been away on holidays having a great time. Sun, surf, beers, food, you name it, I've been doing it. But now, it's over. It's time to get back to work. It's time to rip into the Galant. Okay, those memories were sweet, but they're done now. Now we're going to build this car. It's not going to build itself. Let's rip into it. Okay, for those who are new around here, this is a 1976 Galant Hardtop coupe. Been working on it for a while now, done a bunch of rust repairs. Got the shell in etch primer, the doors over there in etch primer, the bonnet's in etch primer. The last piece of the puzzle for this car is these guards. So this one was heavily stoved in and had some rust as well, which I've done some work on this guard previously. And then this one over here, it was the same. It was bad in this corner, and I've done the metal work. But now the car needs, it's got a ding here and a couple other dings, but this guard needs to have the body work done on it, put it into etch primer, sand this surface rust off. But the real challenge is going to be this one here. I've had this thing in the English wheel before. I was trying to smooth out some ripples through here, and I had the wrong die in the wheel, and it was a whole gong show. But anyway, I've stretched it. And if you look down on it from the top here, not sure how good you can see that, but it's a bit of a pregnant pasty. This line here is supposed to continue straight, and you can see that when it gets to about this point here, it starts to bow out. I've watched a bunch of videos, tried to figure out how I can shrink it, and I think I can shrink it a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to be able to shrink it anywhere near enough to get it to a shape where it doesn't stand out. It might be really hard to see on camera, but in person, well, I can see it every time I look at the car. That's what I'm looking at, so I've got to fix it. So I'm not really sure exactly how I'm going to tackle it. The stretched area is all the way through here. I've been thinking about cutting that piece out and fabricating a new piece out of sheet metal, or harvesting a piece off another car. I've got quite a few different guards lying around here, and a few other pieces of random sheet metal that might have the correct shape. I'm not really sure. I've even thought about sort of slicing it and relieving the metal, like taking some metal out, relieving it, pushing it in and welding it back up. But what I'm concerned about is there's a body line that runs through here, then disappears into the wheel arch, and then it's supposed to start up again here. And I'm worried that if I try and fabricate something or do relief cuts or whatever, that I'm going to lose that line. And getting it, it needs to be there. If you look on this guard over here, it's very defined. It runs all the way along here like that. It's quite nice. So I need to get that back into this one. So yeah, I'm not really sure exactly how I'm going to do this. I'll just do what I usually do and fly into it, and hopefully I don't regret the chosen course of action. But I don't know. Here we go. Well, I don't know how good an idea this is, but I've cut this out from the guard it is mangulated, but I've transferred it onto some flat sheet metal here, and I've marked where the fold in the guard's supposed to be. So I'm going to cut it out now and attempt to get this shape. This is not supposed to be a flat piece. There's supposed to be a crown on it that goes this way, and also a slight crown that goes this way. This one's got way too much, which is what the problem is. When I put it in the English wheel previously, I just butchered it. I had the wrong die in it, stretched the hell out of the metal. So what I'm going to try and do is cut this out, and then maybe I'm a fool, but I'm going to put it back in the English wheel and put this piece in the English wheel and try and work it to be the shape that I need it to be, and then weld it in. Yeah, disclaimer, I'm not a panel beater. This is just how I'm going to go about it. I guess if this fails, I will try and find a piece that's got the crown and it's got the line off another guard or door or something that I've got lying around the place, and harvest it from that. But plan A, let's have a go at doing it ourselves, I guess. All right, so I'll go and have a look. Yeah, what I'll do is, I'm terrified, but I'm going to put it into the English wheel, and I want just a little bit this way. Not much, just a little bit. Yeah, and I don't want any this way. I just want this a tiny bit that way. All right, here's the English wheel. You can see the die I've got in there has got a slight crown on it. And here's my piece here. And so I'm going to want to work it backwards and forwards like this, just to give it a slight curve. Not much, just a little bit. So here we go. It's quite a bit more now. All right, fill up to the panel again. That's pretty good. All right, well, now's the bit I'm actually dreading. I'm going to fold, very small fold in this piece. It only needs to be a couple of degrees really, like, all right, here we go. I think I want to see the whole line, because when it bends the metal around the die, it's going to be stretching it up. So if I can't see the line, then it's going to start bending after the metal, if that makes sense. So I think I need to see the whole line so that it bends it at the line. This is going to be very much trial and error. I'm going to come in soft with the first bend, just a little bit. Is that? See there, it's not much. Hopefully it's not too much. Yeah, I think it's going to work nicely. It's welded in. Well, that's not the best work I've ever done, but it's actually not too bad. If you follow the seam there, or the, I don't know what you call it, the body line, it's nice and straight, runs down the guard, which is good. Everything's low, which is good. It means I can put filler in it and it's not going to be a pregnant pasty. So the idea now is to put some filler over the edges where it's low and start blocking it back and see where it ends up. I suspect that, see, it sort of comes down and it's shrunk a little bit where I've done the welding around the edge. But I don't know. I had the ruler on it earlier and I was checking. I don't think it's too bad. Like up this end here, it's very close, and and right through the middle it stays on, and then it's just here at this point where it's dropped down, where it's shrunk because of the weld, that it looks low. So I think I might be able to get away with a skim of filler around the edge, and hopefully that's all it's going to need. But yeah, it didn't go perfect, but I don't know, what's the old saying? I'm a better grinder than a welder, not sure. But you know, this sheet metal's 50 years old and it is what it is. while very impatiently waiting for that bog to dry, I've been in here playing around with the dash. I found an old dash cover which came with the car in the box of tricks, so that'll be cool. But I've secured it in 3 spots along the top of the dash, and I've done a bit more work to it. So I filled in that corner down there a bit, and this one here, and a bit more welding along the top there just to neaten all that up. And I'm going to grind all those welds back, clean them up, and then I've decided I'm going to bodywork the dash. I'll bodywork the dash pad and paint it in a hammer tone, a black hammer tone, like a satin finish. And I'm going through the box of parts that came with the car, and I'm looking to see if there's the Galant badge that would be on the normal dash cover that just goes here, because that might be a nice little touch if I can get one of them in there as well. But yeah, like I said, very impatiently waiting for this bog to dry. I haven't been filming much today. I've been out here all day, but it's been a grind. It's just been bog, sand, and then obviously a bit of welding over on the dash. Did a bit of filler down here, and then on the back of the car here. I wasn't overly happy with this corner here. As I'd said in previous videos, this back has taken a hit at some stage. There's lots of evidence of it inside and when I was fixing this back panel here, but I wasn't happy with this corner. So I've ground that back and applied a bit of filler, and I think I've got the shape much better now. But yeah, also there's a bit more body work required over here. Up here is a little bit ripply. Same as down here, and just here as well. So it continues. Is this bog dry yet? Nope. Just as I was finishing off the sanding then, I was just so happy that I chose to fix this and not just leave it alone. Like, I don't think it would have stood out if you weren't looking for it, but the bulb that was here, where I've just completely butchered in the English wheel, it was there. And like I said earlier, it bothered the hell out of me. I just kept looking at it. And so I think there's a time when I would have left it. I would have just body worked around it and blended it in and made it look like it was all smooth. But no, I don't know. Once you get paint on the car, that's it, right? You're done. So I don't know. I think that it's worth the effort to make it better, to make it right. But anyway, I just had a moment of reflection just then, and it was quite nice. But this is beautiful now. There's a lot more filler in there than I'd hoped. Interestingly, the filler's not just confined to the bit where I welded the piece in. So the piece I welded in was like that, but all of this was low. It's not thick. I mean, you can see the metal through the filler. It's very thin, and I've put lots on and I've sanded lots off, but it's straight. Well, it feels straight to me. It looks straight to me. I guess time will tell, but yeah, super happy. I'm going to put it into primer. Well, she's fitted up, all dry, on, looks great. The body line's nice and straight. It's not big and bulbous here where it was before. Holes are there for the badge, which is going to be on this car. Looks great. So next time, it'll be this guard, which requires a whole lot less work. And then I've marked up some of these spots where a bit more body work's needed. So you can see all these X's. Like I said, guys, I'm not a panel beater. I'm not a spray painter, none of that stuff, but just a guy in the shed at the house, having a good time. All right, well, that's all there's going to be this week. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good one.